I wrote something in my notes app yesterday and I can't stop thinking about it. I tried to buy my way into being liked. I bought the marketing machine hook, line, and sinker. And I realized something. My journey towards financial independence didn't really begin when I learned about index funds or compounding interest. It really began when I stopped needing stuff to tell me that I was worthy. I truly believe that saving money is really a transformation of the self. It's not just a transformation of your finances. Yes, you can budget. Yes, you can do a no-buy. Yes, you can declutter and become a minimalist. When I was younger, I loved MTV Cribs. I am an elder millennial. I'm 43 now and I retired at 39. The idea of retiring early came to me around graduate school, 27, 28 years old, 2007, 2008. And money back then was about status, experiences, belonging, confidence, being attractive, being admired. Security, that feeling like I was doing well, outperforming other people. A lot of it was mired in comparison. I don't think I was necessarily buying stuff because I was materialistic, and maybe in some ways I was. I'm buying the emotional outcome of what I think the thing will give me. If I'm buying plastic surgery, I'm going to be more attractive. I'm going to have a better partner. If I buy the right shirt in high school, then the popular kids will like me, or I'll fit in. There won't be as much friction. I won't get teased, or I won't get made fun of. I won't have to feel negative feelings. It was about external validation because I didn't have an internal feeling of okayness, so I was constantly looking for it. And now that we have the ability to buy things instantly and send them to our doorstep, it's gotten worse. I would say I'm not a full-blown shopping addict, but I definitely was what you would call a spendthrift, which was I was constantly looking for something to make me feel better. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with appreciating your things or liking your things or liking the way you look in an outfit or wearing makeup. None of it is inherently bad, but there are different perspectives that I have come from in my 20s, 30s, and now in my 40s, and I just look at stuff differently, and I look at time freedom differently, and I look at retiring early for different reasons. I thought maybe I could buy a better version of myself. Couple that with the modern marketing machine that we see on social media. Social media has some very good things to it. There's some amazing comment sections. There's humor and intelligence and amazing thoughtfulness out there. I do love the internet. But marketing isn't saying you need this object. It's saying I'm going to solve a problem for you. And sometimes it creates that problem. If you want to appear successful, maybe you need this beautiful house. Here's my real estate ad. If you want to become an interesting person, this luxury vacation, this European trip will change your life. You can have the perfect body. Just do these 5 simple things and buy my online course. If you want to look like I look, I'm going to show off my body. This brand new car will make you feel responsible, will make you feel like an adult, will make you feel like you've finally made it in comparison to that piece of junk you've been driving forever. I love cars. Social media is this highlight reel of consumption. If I'm scrolling these days, 2 out of 3 of the things I'm seeing on social media are advertisements for something, and it always seems like everyone's selling something, a course, an ebook, a guide, someone's doing it better or slightly better. They know what we want. They read our emails, right? So the marketing machine is alive and well, and I'm certainly not immune. Knowing yourself deeply and knowing your habits for spending and doing experiments like low buys and no buys and becoming a minimalist or maximalist or whatever. It's not always words that teach. Sometimes it is life experience that teaches, and that's why I'm here. I like to help people learn and grow through my experience, and hopefully you can identify with some of the things I'm saying. If you like this kind of content where we're bridging sort of the psychology of money along with habit and behavior change, then please feel free to like and subscribe. I would love to see you more often, and I will keep bringing this content. I wasn't even gonna make a video today, but this has been this is my Roman Empire. I couldn't stop thinking about it, so I decided I'm just gonna sit down and read the Notes app and see what happens with it, because this idea has been sort of swirling inside of me of how was I able to recently do a low buy and a no buy, fail it, and then come to this place of okayness with myself and my spending. I have been within budget very easily for the past few months, whereas a year ago I was out of control with my spending. What's the difference? I have been focusing on when I'm buying something, am I doing this for me? Am I really doing this for me? And I might think I want that luxury car because it feels so good to be in it. I love the ease of use. I love the gas mileage. And then I have to go one step deeper and say, but why do I want that in the first place? Is it really because it's saving me money on gas? Because I know I could buy a hybrid. I bought my Prius. I could have bought a $5,000 car and I spent about $15,000 on my car. I could have bought a $5,000 car, non-hybrid, and saved that $10,000 on gas over the same amount of time. So I bought that hybrid for a reason. I do like saving money on gas. It probably will last me about 10 years, and it's about $100 a month in insurance. It's a cheap car. A Prius is a very cheap car to own. I'm trying to let go, but I also now look back and see, like, if it was really about saving the most money, that's not the car that I could have chosen. When I first started on the journey to financial independence and financial freedom, I had a number in mind between $2.5 and $3 million. I wanted this fat fire experience because I didn't want to change my lifestyle. I wanted to drive a brand new car, have a big house, and be able to spend over $100,000 a year. Something that has happened in my 30s and 40s and through the process of divorce and downsizing is that I have realized the more comfortable I've become with myself and the more I'm tuning to myself instead of others, the less I want to spend money. I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone, and when I am getting in that place of comparison, I have to think to myself, what am I trying to say here? What am I trying to sell? Because maybe I'm trying to sell myself on a new friendship, and maybe I'm pushing too hard with certain people or certain groups that I want to fit into. I want to be well respected. I want to be well liked. But if I'm having to push to get respect and push to do that through purchasing things, then I'm probably looking for love in all the wrong places. I think what changed for me was having those mantras. Am I doing this for me? Am I doing this for others? The low buy and no buy did give me space to think about my purchases. I do not impulse buy anymore. I'll put it in my cart and it'll sit there. Sometimes 2 days, sometimes 30 days, sometimes 90 days or more before I buy something. If it keeps coming up as something that could increase happiness or utility or saves time, then I generally will buy that thing. Even if I think I need it, even if it takes me 4 months to buy something, most of the time I don't need it. I want it because I think it looks cute. Or something from my childhood. I was obsessed with my grandmother's houses. I love grandma chic. I love cottagecore, anything. So sometimes it's deeply rooted in this place of comfort and I just want it. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that if you can afford it and it's in your budget of your free spend money. There is a tipping point, and I have asked myself this question a lot of times when I'm buying things today. Is it going to help me sleep better at night? If I purchase this thing, will it help me sleep better or will it make me sleep worse, create anxiety in my life? Because when I'm going to buy something, there is a lot to weigh out there. From someone who's been divorced and left a lot of money on the table, there is a point at which it's really worth pursuing, and there's a point at which it's worth letting go and saying, I have enough, I don't need this thing. Satisfaction for me is friendships that don't revolve around spending, friendships that are activity-based, and happiness and joy-based. If there's a lot of negativity in the conversation, I shy away from those relationships. Feeling competent and hobbies, increasing my skills. I'm a lifelong learner. I'm learning how to do better videos and be more informative and be more structured and bring better information. My earlier videos were just me blabbing away, and I've realized that I don't always enjoy when other people do that. So I'm trying to bring information in a way that's meaningful and useful to others. Being present with my kids. This probably means the most to me out of almost anything. And I do say no a lot more now about financial purchases for them. We have started to talk about chores and allowances. They are 7 and 9. I feel like I'm the best model for my kids. No matter what I say and try to teach them about money, I think the best thing I can do is model behavior. So if I'm not spending impulsively, if they see me eating healthy, I think that's the biggest influence I can have on them. So I do say no a lot more often now when it comes to purchases. They're okay, and we deal with the hard feelings, and they're usually gone quickly. Walking, being outside, working out at home. I quit the gym and I've started working out a lot more and taking care of my health a lot more. And a lot of that just comes with more time freedom. After I take the kids to school, I generally come back home unless I have plans to meet a friend and walk somewhere. Walking is part of my health plan, and lifting weights at home and being here in the comfort of my home means zero commute to the gym. I'm not competing for any machines, and I know that I'm doing it for me. As I've gotten older, strength and being physically fit is really about longevity and health than it is about aesthetics. So financial independence has become less about how little can I spend and more about if I'm creating a life I genuinely love, that probably won't involve much spending. So how do I first remain happy, second remain frugal? Having more used to make me think I was going to be more secure, but it actually did the opposite. When I would spend more and overspend, I had so much anxiety in my life. And wanting less has created so much peace. I think you'll understand when I use the example of the path of least resistance. If it's helping you to sleep at night, awesome. If it's creating more anxiety in your life when you lay down your head on your pillow at night, that's a good indicator that you don't need that thing. In fact, it is the detriment of your life. And that's why I love minimalism too. I'm not an extreme minimalist anymore. I'm somewhere in the cozy, sort of like middle of the road minimalist. I don't like a huge influx of stuff when I'm decluttering constantly and getting rid of junk because I'm tired of cleaning up and taking care of it. It's this painful reminder that I've overspent on frivolous junk, and I just don't want to do that anymore. I want my house to be comfortable and easy to clean and have space. So I have to ask myself questions. Am I trying to buy belonging? Am I buying confidence? Maybe I'm trying to buy an escape. So it really isn't about whether or not you buy the latte. It's asking, what am I hoping that this money is going to make me feel throughout the day? Every time I make a purchase, I'm thinking, why am I doing this? If it's food, pretty obvious. But even with food and grocery shopping, my grocery budget has been one of the toughest places for me to not spend and be frugal, because I, as a parent, get very tired. So I will buy convenience foods so that I'm not doing as much work in the kitchen. And that is a good reason to spend money. But I have found that I can overspend on convenience foods and or not do my research. I do enjoy the frugal hunt, like for protein powders especially, and things that can get really costly and add a lot to the budget. That is something I'm dialing in right now. It's sort of like my frugal challenge for myself. This month we spent double what we've been spending. Part of it is because we went on vacation and came back and needed a lot, but I know that a lot of my emotional spending lately has been on groceries. I'm going to be looking at that. I did some meal prepping yesterday, which has alleviated, lo and behold, a lot of the stress and anxiety, and saved a ton of money. There are things worth purchasing. As someone who's been working on my health and wanting to lose 5 to 10 pounds, as I've gotten older, the pounds have slowly crept up over the last year. And a lot of that is out of using convenience foods like protein bars and beef jerky, which I would love to eliminate. I would like to make better, healthier, whole food to-go foods and loosen my grip on the sugar in the evening times. If you've got any tips for that, please let me know. The tipping point for me, and I'll end with this, for saving for retirement, coincided with my finding my self-worth, not just in myself, but in others' inherent self-worth, without the stuff, without the looks, and without the accolades. I am pretty analytical of my judgment these days. So if I'm judging someone based on what they're wearing, what they're driving, what their job is, instead of their character and who they are as a person, then I'm off track. And I'm also realizing now that the marketing machine is alive and well in me. From all of the magazines I have read and watched and TikTok I've consumed and influencers, yada, yada, yada. When I'm in judgment of others, it's really some fear I have about the way that people are going to see me. So my judgments tend to not really even be about other people. And for someone who grew up very insecure about my looks, about my status, desperately wanting to be liked, yeah, I have to look at that today. I'm starting to realize through quiet reflection in the morning that none of that stuff matters, and I'm wanting to let go more and more each day of, the need to be liked and just this need to sort of force things to happen with friendships, with relationships, with my work, with this YouTube channel, with all of it. And I just want to have a good time. That's why I retired early. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you got something from this video. I'm going to continue to explore this convergence of money, spending, psychology, joy. Obviously, minimalism and frugality will be a part of the conversation. Thank you so much for being here. Hope you have a great day.